Welcome to the Published and Paid podcast, where we share book, business, leadership, and life lessons in 20 minutes or less to help you build a thought leadership brand and business. My name is Jasmine Womack. I'm a former middle school language arts teacher turned seven-figure entrepreneur, and I am glad that you are here. Let's get started.
Some of the lessons that I learned this year is like going back to what I was saying, like listen to yourself. If what you're doing doesn't feel right and it feels like you, and we got to distinguish between feeling overwhelmed and feeling burdened. Sometimes people use the word overwhelmed to describe not knowing something and being stretched. There's a difference between unfamiliarity and the, what should we say, the intimidation that comes from unfamiliarity versus with being burdened. Like when you feel burdened, that's like in your spirit, in your soul, in your body. You don't want a business that makes you feel burdened. It's okay to feel sometimes feeling overwhelmed is an indication that you're learning something new or that you need to create different processes and systems so that you can feel more comfortable. And sometimes it's just giving yourself grace. But when what you're doing feels burdensome, that's a feeling of heaviness. Like it's heavy to your soul. And that's when you need to change. And a lot of times people don't change and it puts them out of business. But I realized that God really speaks to me. And the best thing that I can do is honor what I feel the Spirit of the Lord telling me to do. Like that is probably one of the biggest lessons that I learned. Even if it requires you to go against the grain, even if it requires you to do something different, even if it requires you to do something challenging, like enrolling in each of those programs. Each of those programs that I enrolled in was an answer to a prayer that I had about specific things. But it wasn't just me enrolling. I had to do the work so that I could get the ROI, right? Another lesson that I learned is that sometimes what we feel is our capacity is really a limitation. And it's fear disguised as limited capacity. It's fear of, oh, I don't think I'll be successful. It's fear of, oh, I'm thinking about all these things I got going on and I don't see how it can be done. Well, the truth of the matter is, if you knew how it could be done, you would do it. But that's why in a multitude of counselors, there's wisdom. That's why when you hire coaches or when you hire trusted mentors, they can help you to see things that your blind spots aren't allowing you to see. I had to have this conversation with one of my coaches, Marshawn Evans Daniels. She's the author of Believe Bigger and 100 Days to Believe in Bigger, devotional journal. And I had this conversation with her. I was like, I'm in statistics. I'm feeling like this. I don't know how I'm going to get this done. I'm not sure that I'm like, I know I need this right now. And I have a feeling you probably won't do it again in this way. I know I need to join, but I'm not seeing how I'm going to make it work. And what I realized is that growth doesn't wait for all the dots to line up so that they can be connected. God is looking for you to give your yes in faith, and then you can figure things out. And for me, that's what it was. It's like I had to give my yes in faith and then figure out the timing. And I had a conversation with Marshawn, and she was the one that helped me to see, you know what, you're not saying that you don't have the time because you really don't have it. This is fear talking. And we had a conversation, and I immediately saw, oh, I had a misconception. And I immediately saw how I could do a specific thing that I needed to do literally in a weekend. And it was literally my own limitations clouding me and making me feel like you don't have capacity, when really it was just fear. And it was a misunderstanding of something that I was going to have to do, that my perception of what I was going to have to do wasn't what it actually was. It wasn't that heavy. It wasn't as heavy as I was making it out to be. All right.